Okay, so let me ask you something. If someone handed you $1,000 right now, not a loan, not a catch, just $1,000 free and clear, what would you actually do with it? And be honest, because most people, if they're being real, would either pay something off, spend it on something they've been putting off, or just leave it sitting in their checking account doing absolutely nothing. And none of those answers are wrong exactly, but none of them are wealth building either. And that gap between having money and actually building wealth is exactly what this video is about. Because building wealth from zero isn't about having a lot of money to start with. It's about knowing what to do with whatever you have right now. Even if right now means $50, even if right now means you're still paying off debt, even if right now means you genuinely have no idea where to begin. My name is Daniel. If you're starting from zero and want a clear, honest roadmap to building real wealth, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up because this is the video I wish existed when I was starting out. Alright, here's the first thing most people get wrong about building wealth from zero. They think it's a money problem. Not enough income, not enough savings, not enough to invest. But here's what I've learned. Wealth building is actually a sequencing problem. It's not about how much you have. It's about doing the right things in the right order. Because doing the right things in the wrong order is just as expensive as doing nothing at all. Let me give you a quick example. Imagine someone gets a $500 tax refund and immediately dumps it into a stock market investment. Feels smart, right? Except they have $3,000 in credit card debt at 24% interest. That investment needs to return more than 24% just to break even with what the debt is costing them. The sequence was wrong. Right action, wrong order, bad outcome. So before we talk about investing, before we talk about index funds or compound interest or any of that, we need to talk about the sequence. Because sequence is everything. Here's the wealth building sequence that actually works for someone starting from zero. 5 stages. In order. No skipping. Stage 1. Stop the bleeding. Before you build anything, you have to stop what's destroying your progress. And for most people starting from zero, that means 2 things. First, track every dollar for 30 days. Not forever. Just 30 days. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes until they look. And when they look, they're almost always surprised. The coffee isn't the problem. The problem is usually 3 or 4 things they forgot they were even paying for. Second, cancel every subscription you haven't used in the last 30 days. Go through your bank statement right now and find recurring charges. Cancel anything that isn't essential. Even $40 a month freed up is $480 a year, and $480 a year is your first investing contribution. Stage 2. Build your first buffer. Here's something most financial advice skips completely. You cannot build wealth consistently if every small emergency sends you back to zero. An unexpected car repair, a medical bill, a broken phone. Without a buffer, these things don't just cost money. They cost momentum. And momentum is everything when you're starting from zero. Your goal in stage 2 is simple. Save $1,000 in a completely separate account. Not your checking account. A separate account you don't touch. $1,000 covers most random Tuesday emergencies without touching a credit card. And here's what most people don't realize. That $1,000 buffer doesn't just protect your money, it protects your investing habit. Because the #1 reason people pull money out of investments early is unexpected expenses. Remove the unexpected expenses problem and your investments stay invested. Stage 3. Destroy high-interest debt. Here's the math nobody wants to hear. If you have credit card debt at 20% interest, paying it off is a guaranteed 20% return on your money. There is no investment on earth that guarantees 20% returns. Not index funds, not real estate, nothing. So paying off high-interest debt is your best investment right now. Use this simple method. List every debt you have. Minimum payments on everything. Every extra dollar goes to the highest interest debt first. When that's gone, roll that payment into the next highest. Keep going until all high-interest debt is eliminated. This is called the avalanche method, and mathematically, it saves you the most money. Now you might be thinking, Steve, what counts as high interest? Anything above 7% should be prioritized before investing. Below 7%, you can invest alongside paying it off because historically, market returns can outpace that rate. Stage 4. Build a real emergency fund. Now that high-interest debt is gone and you have your $1,000 buffer, it's time to upgrade that buffer into a real emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of living expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account. This is not investing money. This is protection money. Its only job is to sit there and make sure that losing your job, having a medical emergency, or facing any major unexpected expense never forces you to sell investments or go back into debt. Because here's what most people don't realize. The biggest reason people never build lasting wealth isn't that they don't invest. It's that they keep getting knocked back to zero by life. An emergency fund is what keeps you in the game long enough for compounding to work. Stage 5. Invest consistently and automatically. Now, finally, this is where wealth actually starts building. And here's the beautiful thing about reaching stage 5. If you've done the first 4 stages, investing becomes almost boring. No drama, no anxiety, no checking prices every morning, just a simple automatic system that builds wealth quietly in the background. Here's exactly what to do. Open a brokerage account. Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard all have 0 minimums to open. Set up an automatic monthly transfer timed right after your payday. Put it into a total market index fund or S&P 500 index fund. Set it. Leave it. Check it once a quarter maximum. That's it. No stock picking, no market timing, no complicated strategies. Just consistent automatic investing in the overall market month after month after month. Let me show you what this actually looks like over time. If you invest $300 per month starting from zero at an average 8% annual return, after 10 years, you have roughly $55,000. After 20 years, approximately $176,000. After 30 years, around $408,000. You contributed $108,000 over those 30 years. The market gave you $300,000 on top of that, from $300 a month, from zero. Now, let me tell you about someone I'll call James. James came to me 2 years ago completely overwhelmed. $8,000 in credit card debt, no savings, living paycheck to paycheck. 0 invested. He followed this exact 5-stage sequence. Month 1 and 2, he tracked spending and canceled 4 subscriptions, freeing up $85 a month. Month 3, he built his $1,000 buffer. Months 4 through 14, he attacked his credit card debt with every extra dollar. Month 15, he started building his emergency fund. Month 18, he made his first investment, $150 automatic monthly transfer into a total market index fund. 2 years later, James has 0 high-interest debt, a $4,000 emergency fund, and $3,800 invested and growing. He told me something that stuck. He said the money didn't change first. The sequence did. And once the sequence was right, everything else followed. That's the whole point of this video. Wealth doesn't come from a windfall. It doesn't come from a hot stock tip. It doesn't come from making more money, although that helps. It comes from doing the right things in the right order consistently over time. So here's your 5-stage wealth building sequence one more time. Stage 1, stop the bleeding. Track spending and cancel unused subscriptions. Stage 2, build your $1,000 buffer. Separate account, don't touch it. Stage 3, destroy high-interest debt. Avalanche method, highest rate first. Stage 4, build a real 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Stage 5, invest automatically every single month in simple index funds. And here's the truth most people eventually figure out the hard way. There is no shortcut to wealth. But there is a sequence. And the sequence works every single time for anyone willing to follow it consistently. Starting from zero isn't a disadvantage. It's just a starting point. And every single person who has ever built real wealth started from exactly the same place. Zero. If this video gave you a clear roadmap, hit subscribe. And I'm curious, which of these 5 stages are you currently in? Drop it in the comments, because knowing where you are is the first step to knowing where you're going.